Hello dear all and welcome back to my channel. It is well into January already. The new year is not so new anymore and still we are all swimming in insecurities, not knowing what to expect of this year because of the pandemic and all that is going on in the world right now. But I can tell you this, we have to keep going with our lives. We have to strive forward because this is just our life, and sitting and waiting is not going to help anybody. So try and make this year as productive and as good as it possibly can with all that is going on. In my last video I have talked about the power of environment and how to change your environment in order to work to your advantage and to keep good habits up, to re-establish or establish good habits and make resolutions stick. In this video I would actually like to go a little bit deeper into the habits and why we create them, why it is so hard to maintain good habits, how it all functions in our brain, what is going on in our brain when we change habits and why it is so hard to do that, and how of course the environment can help us to establish a good habit and turn that into a good routine. It was in October 2019 that Michaela Barnett, I hope I pronounced the name right, interviewed Dr. Wendy, psychologist and author of the book Good Habits, Bad Habits, The Science of Making Positive Changes Stick. And in that interview she asked her what habits actually are, like what is a habit, like the definition of a habit. And the full interview I'm going to link in the comment box below so you can go and read through the article. Wendy Woods actually said that habits are a learning mechanism. All we have to do is repeat something and get rewarded for it. And we're learning a habit. About 43% of what people do every day is repeated in the same context, usually while they are thinking about something else. They are automatically responding without really making decisions, and that's what a habit is. A habit is a work in progress. It is a learning mechanism. It is something that you can learn. It is something that you get rewarded for, maybe a good or a bad reward, like a positive or a negative reward, whether it's healthy or not healthy for you. That's what I mean by that. And it is something that at one point you do not think about anymore. It just happens automatically. You do not have to make that a decision anymore. You do not have to decide what to do because your habit already is established, and that makes you do it anyways without thinking. So decision is off the table here. It is automatized. And herein actually lies the problem of changing a habit. Automaticity. German neurobiologist and brain researcher Dr. Gerald Hüther explains that the brain always tries to save energy and to keep the energy consumption as low as possible. This is of course how you save energy. And that is the ideal or coherent status of the brain. Now you very likely have experienced that making decisions is very hard. You have to think about the pros and the cons and see which have more priority, which are more important, and then decide based on your pro and con list that you have either made in your head or maybe you've even written it down. Either way, making decisions costs the brain a lot of energy. And changing your lifestyle means breaking out of habits and, questioning these habits, and that means that you do not automatize anymore, but you bring more decisions back into your life. Instead of letting your habit decide for you what to do without you even thinking about it and without you even, using energy up for that decision, you say, no, this habit I don't want anymore. I want to break it down, and you have to make new decisions. So this is what costs your brain a lot of energy. You see, every action that brings our brain from an incoherent status, one that takes up a lot of the brain's energy, back into a coherent status where it is more energy saving and less energy consuming, is being rewarded by the brain's reward center. The more often the action is repeated and rewarded, the stronger the connection between the neurons in your brain grows, until you have actually a really thick bridge between those neurons in your head and have formed a strong, very consistent habit. But in order for that to happen, you need to have a lot of energy. You have a habit, you have created a habit that you don't like, that is not healthy, not good for you, and you have to break that bridge between those two neurons down again. That takes up a lot of energy, and that is going to take a lot of effort as well, and a lot of discipline, and a lot of your motivation. But this is the only way how you can actually change a habit and make one habit disappear and replace it with another better habit that is better fitting for you, that is healthier for you, that is a habit of better choice. You can actually change a habit rather quickly if your very own intrinsic motivation is way stronger than the habit and the reward feeling that it gives to you. Then it's actually pretty simple and rather fast going that you have replaced the bad habit with a good habit. If you come home from a stressed work day and you go straight to the candy drawer in the kitchen, or you binge watch series to numb the fuss in your head that came with all the pressing deadlines and with the bad feedback that you got from your boss or whatever, you can turn that into a habit, because for that moment, in the here and now, in the present moment, it is what allows your brain to save energy, to lower the energy consumption, to not evolve around the problem anymore and to try and solve it. So at that moment, you allow your brain to be in a coherent state, so it sends a signal to the reward system again. You get dopamine, and again, here you have created a habit, be it a good one or a bad one. But in the end, the problem is still there, creeping up your back and sitting on your shoulders, sitting on your chest. So at one point, the reward is not working anymore. At some point, the problem comes back and hits you back, maybe even way harder. And you understand that this habit has been a bad one, that choice has been a bad one. But it is up to you whether you break it down or whether you give in to that habit and reward yourself for it over and over again, or whether you say, no, this is just not what I want, and you create a new habit that is replacing the old one. Understanding that this habit is actually just increasing the problem and not solving it, but puts you into quite a devastating and uncomfortable situation, because you come to work the next day and your problem is still not solved, you still have no idea, and it's probably even more pressing. Your boss is even unhappier with your work and gives you even worse feedback. Then you're in a position to actually change that habit and tear the bridge in your brain down. And if you're really, really shocked by the results, like let's say they are so health threatening, like you have been a chain smoker and your doctor says, you know what, you better stop right away, or that lung cancer that is developing in your lung will grow so massively that we cannot save you anymore. If that is truly a big shock for you, then you are actually able to tear the bridge down. From one moment to the next, you can stop smoking and just replace that habit with a different one. Most of the time, however, we are not in that shocked position, and our intrinsic motivation might not be that strong to create a new habit and to replace the old habit with a new one, so that we have to actually work on creating a new habit and establishing a new habit a lot more. So you have to learn to resist the impulse of rewarding yourself for something. Let's come back to our example. You come home, you have had a very rough work day, and you feel really low and not happy. Then you deliberately have to make the choice. Do I go to the candy drawer? Do I go and watch episode after episode after episode of a series? Or do I go and do some meditation to calm my mind down and then, I don't know, sit down for half an hour or 45 minutes and think of what I can do better the next day? Oops. No mindset, as I have already said in my previous video and on Instagram, is ever strong enough and always strong enough to boost your energy and to boost you to make good decisions from morning till night. You always come to a point where your energy is so low that you cannot decide for the better. You cannot make good decisions anymore, and you just let your habit decide it. So when the habit is a bad one, then you fall back into those bad habits, and it's just the way it is. You do not need to blame yourself for it. You just have to find a way around it. So what you can do in order to help yourself to replace a bad habit with a good one is to change your environment. I have talked about that in my last video, and changing your environment helps you to make good choices more easily, because you can actually outsource choices to your environment. So what you can do is change your environment in order to help you make better decisions when your energy level is so low that your motivation and your positive mindset cannot kick in and help you make that decision. You could sell your TV and replace that empty space with books or with other activities that you enjoy and that would make you feel relaxed and, you know, lets you sit in stillness. And this too is then a reward for your brain, because you calm down, and when you calm down and relax, then this allows your brain to get the energy consumption down again too, and to save energy. So it again activates the reward center, and this is just a good habit for you. It is something that will put you into a way better position to eventually find the strength again and a clear mind to work on your problems and to feel better and to live a healthier life. Writing your resolutions down and really thinking about how much you want them and why you want them. Like, why do you want them? What is your motivation? And how you can actually achieve them realistically. That already helps a lot to not only make them stick, but keeping them up and turning them into a habit that will eventually become so automatized that you do not have to think about it anymore. You just do it. And that is the ideal point where our brain is in a coherent status and likes to be in this coherent status and will stay in this coherent status too. I think doing it this way and understanding how our brain works will bring you so much further than just sitting down at one moment where you feel like, oh, I'm going to make this year such a good one and I feel so motivated and so energized right now, and you write all the resolutions down and all the things down that you want to change and want to do better without even thinking about why you want that and how you're going to achieve this and what it actually costs and how much energy it will actually take from you in order to make that habit and make that resolution stick. Yeah, I just wish you a lot of fun exploring your inner motivation and your life and changing your environment and making choices that are actually good and healthy for you and lead to a happier and better life for you. And I will see you in the next video. If you guys want, write some of your resolutions down in the comment box. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, share it, also subscribe to my channel for more videos, and I will see you soon. Bye!